Happy Saturday morning. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. I've slept on it just a little bit. I've thought about it a little bit, and I've come to the conclusion. Tennessee is Elite Eight bound for the second time in program history. They'll advance tomorrow to play Purdue, our nemesis, Purdue, at 2:20 p.m. on CBS with the chance for the first trip to the Final Four in school history for the men. Such a big opportunity for this team, such a big opportunity for this program to put itself on the map, as it's been one of the better college basketball programs for years now. Does not have that Final Four to show for it. Only has the second Elite Eight to show for it. But before you get to the Final Four, you have to get to the Elite Eight. And this team did it last night. They did it based on a couple things. They did it on their defense. They did it on forcing turnovers. That was the big part of the game. An 18-0 run in the second half. They survived some foul trouble in the first half. They got some key contributions from Freddie DeLeon and Cam Carr, who had to come in, fill in minutes, and they did their job. They did an awesome job when they came in. And then the second half, we rolled. You know, if there is a negative, and we've said it many times, we need more Jonas Adu. All right? We need more and better from Jonas Adu. All right? I don't know what his deal is right now, but if he's having a hard time being motivated or whatever, other guys aren't. Okay? I can assure you a JP Estrella or somebody will not be hard to motivate to come in on it. So they need to, Jonas Adu needs to figure it out. I'm sure this coaching staff has tried everything they can with him. Sometimes it comes from the inside with it. He's gotten a lot better this year. He was a second-team All-SEC defensive player. We're going to need him tomorrow against the best big man in the country. Okay? Maybe not the most skilled, but with his size and knowing what to do with it, he'll be a ton to deal with. He was the first time that they played as well. But, looking back at last night and looking at this game, where Tennessee really excelled, and the big point in the game, points off turnovers. I had keys. I said hold them down to 37% three-point shooting. They didn't. Creighton shot 47.8% from three-point range. They shot 92% from free throws, right at 45% from field goals. The rebounding battle, Creighton had 34, Tennessee had 36, so that's changed a little bit overnight. That was, I'm thinking, I saw last night on the ESPN, it said 37-36 or 36-35. They only had Tennessee by one, but on here they have Tennessee with a 2-point rebounding advantage. If I would have looked at Creighton's numbers and not looked at this score, I would have seen that Shearman, Ashworth, Kalkbrenner, and Alexander all were double digits the way they were. I would have seen, not looking at this, the three-point percentages, the free throw percentages, the rebounding only losing by 2. I would have told you Creighton won that basketball game. But I've said it for a few years with Tennessee. Defense has not been the issue with Tennessee at any point. It wasn't last year against FAU when they got put out in Madison Square Garden. It's been being able to score. So, a great defense is great, but if you don't have an offense to go with it, it's pretty much nothing. I mean, look at Iowa in football this year. They had a good defense, or at least that's what they said coming in when Tennessee torched them in the Citrus Bowl, but they couldn't score. It's kind of the same with some Tennessee teams of years past. Great defense, could occasionally score, but not consistently. This team now has won 2 games in this tournament that I don't think they would have won last year. The Texas game, as ugly as they shot and played in that one, and then last night against Creighton. Tennessee shot the ball well last night, though, was the difference. And their ability, they shot, let's see, what was it, 40? Let me go back to Tennessee here. They were right at, Tennessee was right at 46% from three-point range themselves last night. So they pretty much matched Creighton in that. Where I thought Tennessee may struggle, and they actually surpassed what I expected, was teams just don't get to the free throw line against Creighton. Tennessee was 15 out of 18. A lot of Creighton, even in their losses, teams were not getting to the free throw line on them. They kept Creighton at 13 attempts. Now, Creighton shot 12 of 13, but Tennessee was 15 out of 18. And the big one that I pointed out on here, if you listen to my preview going in, because there were some matchups I didn't like in Tennessee's favor. The one I liked was assist to turnover ratio, and specifically being able to force turnovers and get those points off of it, because Creighton they don't or didn't force turnovers. And last night was the case again. Tennessee, 4 turnovers last night. Where Creighton, on the other hand, Tennessee forced them. Let's see, what was it? 9 turnovers? Let me go back and look at. Yeah, it was 9 turnovers. So points off turnovers for Creighton, 0. Points off turnovers for Tennessee, 10. Right there is your difference in that ball game. Had it circled, had it pegged. That was the big advantage that I saw for Tennessee. That was what played out last night as well. As it was a drastic difference. Tennessee was almost doubling them in turnovers forced, and that played out the case again last night. 5 more turnovers, which was 10 points off them. Huge in that game, especially when you got Adu no showing, and especially when you have Creighton shooting as well as you did. You have to have some metric, some X factor that goes your way. That was it. If you're Creighton and you look back on it, your inability to force turnovers is probably what's kept you from moving further than it has this year, because that was a good basketball team last night. Good team, good win for Tennessee. So now we shift focus. Tennessee is on, as I was misspeaking last night, I forgot the redemption tour. Tennessee's 2-1 on the redemption tour right now, as they got revenge on Texas A&M. They got revenge on South Carolina, which wrapped up the SEC regular season title. Mississippi State game, though, didn't go too well. But you know what? I will happily trade that loss for an Elite Eight appearance any day of the week. Just like last year when Tennessee would they win a game in the SEC tournament maybe? And then they got put out. Gladly trade it to go further in the tournament. Okay, 2 years ago, they won the SEC tournament, went out in the second round. I will take Sweet 16 Elite 8 over SEC tournament championship every day of the week on it and be happy. But Tennessee and Purdue played once already in Maui, 71-67. Purdue was a game Tennessee led the half, and then Purdue shot really well in the second half. And they had Lawyer, who went for 27. They had Zach Edey, who went for his 23 and I think like 15 rebounds. The big difference in that game was Purdue annihilated Tennessee on the rebounding column. It's like 44-31. So for Tennessee to conclude the redemption tour 3-1 tomorrow, that rebounding, I'm not saying they have to win it, all right? But they have to, it's got to be a lot closer than that. And then Purdue shoots over 40% from three-point range. Make no mistake about it. This is a very good Purdue team. Tennessee has got to beat Purdue in something at some point, though. We go back Music City Bowl. We go back to the Sweet 16 with the bogus foul call on Lamonte Turner. It's still not a foul to this day, where Purdue advanced on to the Elite Eight that year. And then in Maui earlier this year, at some point, Tennessee's got to get over that hump against what's become a nemesis to this entire athletic program in Purdue. Rick Barnes said it. Tennessee's a better team. He also said Purdue's a better team also. The big difference for me in this one, Zakai Ziegler played 28 minutes in Hawaii. He was just getting back in the groove, coming back off injury. Didn't have a great game. He wasn't himself. Now, totally different team. Totally different guy. But, it's going to be pick your poison. I think you got to Edey's probably going to do his thing. You just can't let it be crazy. Can't be like 30 points, 20 rebounds. If he goes for 20 points, 10 rebounds, so be it. All right? We can live with that. If he goes for 25 and 10, we could probably live with that. Can't allow a Lawyer to go for 27, though, in the meantime. It's a good team. No doubt about it. I'll have a preview later this evening on this. Keys to victory and a preview as we get in that Final Four. And then later tonight, I'll do a video post-game on Tennessee, Georgia. Hopefully, baseball. Hopefully, it goes a lot better than last night. But thank you guys for setting up with me. We went to almost 2 o'clock last night, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I had about 70 to 80 of you for this channel. I'm extremely happy with that, and I appreciate you guys that have helped build this thing so far. Let's keep on building, guys. Make sure you hit that like, that share, subscribe My name's Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday out there. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, go Vols.